Maybe you've been wondering where I have been. Lots of things. One, depression. Two, I've been living my life, which is crazy to say. I realized that I felt like I didn't have a community outside of the internet. And so my goal for this year was to do more things outside the internet. And I've been doing that, but that does mean that some of my other things that I care about kind of took a back burner. Unfortunately, that does mean YouTube. That doesn't mean I don't care about you guys. I love you guys so much. But I was feeling a little bit burnt out. I have expressed in previous videos. But I've recollected myself and I realized in this, again, unintended hiatus that I do really enjoy making YouTube videos and content. So you might see me pivoting and trying different things in the future. This video I actually filmed back in July around the 15th anniversary of One Direction being formed, which is like July 23rd. I had filmed this around then and I was trying to edit it and I just couldn't get myself to edit it. I didn't have that passion. So if it seems a little dated, that's why. You know, bear with me. I love you guys so much. Enjoy this video and let me know if there's anything else you want to see on the channel. And girl, what a mess I've made upon your innocence. No woman in the world deserves this, but here I am asking you for one more chance. Can we fall? Okay, I need to stop. Happy 15 years since One Direction was formed. I was not planning on making this video, but you know what? I was gonna make a different video. I was going to do a tier list of all the Dimension 20 seasons, and if that's something you're interested in, I still want to do that. I just, I started listening to One Direction again, and I was like, you know what? This slaps. I have an itch that I must scratch, and that scratch is making this video and torturing you all to the in-depth knowledge that I have to One Direction and their discography. One Direction was severely important to me. It formed who I am today. I once gave out my mom's IP address to play the One Direction dating game and got her identity stolen twice because of that, amongst other stupid things that I've done for One Direction, but like that is just one that like really sticks with my mind. So in college, if you didn't know, I was a acting major. I say theater because I'm embarrassed of admitting that I was specifically an acting major. I have a BFA in acting. I took a solo performance class, and in that class, it was also during COVID, so it was online. We had to do like little video projects, which actually did help me realize that I could do YouTube like as a thing. One of the videos that I did for that class included me making like this exact ranking tier list. What is it called? A bracket.
I was a Larry shipper. I did think Eleanor was a beard.
Doing this bracket for a video, and it was so long, and I want to revisit it because it's been 15 years since the band was formed. It's been however long since the hiatus, and I'm feeling nostalgic. I turned 26 on the 4th of August. Gulp. So let's do this. So I actually didn't save a blank version of this. I hope I can find one in the editing process that I can share with you all so that you can have it. But this is called One Direction, the best of the best. I can't remember where I found this specific bracket. Honestly, it was probably on Pinterest or Tumblr, in all honesty. Like I said, this was at least 5 years ago that I found this. This is separated into 4 corners. It's a bracket to eventually get you to your number 1 song, right? The last time I did this, I did end up with Stockholm Syndrome. I do have a feeling that will probably make it to the final 2 because objectively, that is a song that I listen to a lot consistently and have been over the past many, many years. So spoiler alert, that may be my number 1 song. If not, it's definitely going to be up there in the bracket list just because it's a banger and there's a reason why Harry and Niall both cover it on their individual solo tours. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. This is called One Direction, the best of the best, and it's separated into 4 corners, 4 sections that will make it to the top section. We have ballads, bangers, boops, and bops. Back when this was made, bops had a different meaning. No one calls songs bops anymore. I think we should bring that back. Personally, because some songs you bop, you know what I mean? Or maybe you don't, because maybe I'm unk. Maybe I'm chopped and I'm unk. Anyway, we're gonna start off with the ballads. Personally, I don't love listening to ballads in general because I don't like feeling sad. That's just like a general rule of music for me. So these are the ones that I'm probably going to know the least. For example, Change My Mind or Right Now. Right Now, I listen to actually today, and the fact that I'm blanking on Change My Mind right now makes me feel like I have to do Right Now. AM or Little Things. I will have to say Little Things just because the impact that had on me as a person is objectively more than AM. Although I do like AM maybe more than Little Things, I think Little Things. I mean, I used to listen to that all the time, and I would like sit in my room and like have my headphones on and like stare up in the ceiling in my bed and cry. Yeah, I think I have to go Little Things. I think also just like culturally, the impact Little Things has is larger, and so I think it has to be Taken or Irresistible. Wow, I'm actually saying most of the opposite of what I put last time I did this, which is so funny, which is why we change and grow as people. That's what it's all about. Taken or Irresistible. I did just listen to Taken, and I have to say, I do like that one more. I do like Taken. Who do you think you are? Okay, I gotta stop. My neighbors hate me. You and I or Last First Kiss. Ooh, I listened to actually genuinely Last First Kiss has been on my rotation lately, and I have to put that one because it's just so good. Let me be your last first kiss. Take Me Home. Ugh. What an album. Is it, I think, objectively their most well-written album, their best album in the sense of like lyricism and maybe like sonically? No. But I do think it's their best album personally, and like how it impacted me as a person. I think it's one of the best sophomore albums of all time. I'll say that. I think it's one of the best sophomore albums of all time. Spaces or Moments? I think Moments is more iconic. And I will say I am partial to the earlier albums, and that may reveal itself as we go further into this bracket. But the earlier albums, I mean, that's just like when I was in my prime as a directioner, and so I connect a lot more to the music, and like that's all I was listening to. As I got older, I definitely expanded like my music taste, and so I was listening to more things, and so I wasn't as interested maybe in one direction as I was when I was listening to Up All Night and Take Me Home. Like, girl, I was there. Don't cite the deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written. Moments, I'll go with that. And then 18 or Truly Madly Deeply. This is tough because neither of these songs are necessarily my favorite. Last time I wrote Truly Madly Deeply, but I was listening to 18 recently, and I think it's the better song. Notice how like depending on what two are in there, I'm going back and forth of what I think is objectively better and what I think is subjectively better, and I think that's okay because this is my bracket, not yours.
Because it's our show and not yours.
Anyway. Night Changes or Summer Love? Night Changes. I think Night Changes is just better. And it makes me cry. I actually can't listen to Night Changes. That song genuinely does make me cry. More Than This or Fool's Gold? Fool's Gold. Why did I say it like that? More Than This or Fool's Gold? Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold. Last time I put Fool's Gold, I think, because More Than This, I think I listened to more when I was younger, but as I got older, Fool's Gold is definitely, I think, the better song, and I do like that more. And last time I put Fool's Gold as well, but I don't want to put it because I'm struggling to say it and I don't want to have to keep saying it. I still have to put Fool's Gold though. I do think that's the better song, and I was just listening to it. I can't even argue. I was listening to that. So those are all the ballads. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through each corner separately, and then as we get to like the final four, which is the top one from each corner, we'll kind of just go from there. If that makes sense, I think it'll make sense as we go through. Anyway, right now we're Little Things. Tough. I think I'll have to go Little Things again just because the significance. I think it is a well-written song. I think the impact it had on me personally is good. I think culturally it also has more of an impact. So I think for all those reasons, I will have to go with Little Things. But between Taken and Last First Kiss, that's tough because, no, it has to be Last First Kiss. Like I said, that's in my rotation right now. I listen to it more often. And I think Taken is a funny song. Like, I think Taken is funny. I think a lot of the Up All Night songs are funny. I think it's okay to say that. Like, I think looking back on it, it's like, okay, these are like funny pop songs because they're so earnest in the way that they're being sung. And I think that's why, like, it's just so, it encapsulates the teenage girl like experience in the sense that it's like, that was perfect marketing for young tweens and teens. I actually love Taken, but I will have to go with Last First Kiss because I do think I like that song more. Now Moments are 18. I'm gonna go the exact opposite of what I did with the last two between Taken and Last First Kiss, because 18 I do think now resonates with me more, but I think the Moments was just a song that like was a moment. One Direction Tumblr was like, oh my god, like when they sing Moments on tour, like I actually can't, like I'm actually crying, like I actually can't right now. Like to this day, sometimes I still listen to Moments and cry because it's just like great fucking song actually, like. And I think I have to go with Moments, yeah. Night Changes, Fool's Gold. This one's tough because these are both part of later albums. They've definitely, like, at this point in One Direction's career, they have evolved, and these are definitely more mature songs. And so I think these two songs are, in a way, on an even playing field. That being said, Night Changes, I would say, is popular more popular than Fool's Gold, I think, for a reason. And I think that's because it's the better song. And so I will have to go with Night Changes. And I will have to go with Night Changes because you know what? The night does change fast. Girl. Little Things, Last First Kiss. I will be going with Last First Kiss because I do find myself listening to that more now, period. And then Moments or Night Changes, I will have to go with Night Changes because again, I do think it's objectively the better song. I do think that. Now this is tough. This is tough. Last First Kiss or Night Changes, because if you looked at my Spotify Wrapped or whatever, Last First Kiss would be on there more than Night Changes. But is Night Changes the better song than Last First Kiss? Yes. But I think because this is my bracket, I'm gonna go with the song that I listen to more, and it's gonna be Last First Kiss. And you know what? I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at what I did last time. It was also between Last First Kiss and Night Changes, and I went with Night Changes. But now I'm going with Last First Kiss. And they say people can't change, but they also say women are fickle, but women also contain multitudes. Anyway, those are the ballads. I think it's crazy that Last First Kiss is considered a ballad, but I guess, you know what? It's fine. Whatever. We don't have to get into that. Okay, the boops. The boops. We're starting with History or Nobody Compares. That is hard because History, I think... They definitely experimented with their sound with Made in the AM, which I appreciated, which gives us some funky moments. Like I do think History is like a funky song. Like the rhythm of it where it's like, yeah, me got a whole lot of history. Like I think that's like a fun like you know what I mean? Like that's a boop. That is a boop. But also like the cultural significance of it too, of that being like, oh, this is a song that we like dedicate to our fans. Like it's the histories between you and me, like you, the fans, and me, the artist. You know what I mean? Like that's great. But also I listen to Nobody Compares more, and I do love Nobody Compares. So I think I will have to go with Nobody Compares because I just do love that song. I do love that song. And that's what I went with last time as well. So Same Mistakes or Gotta Be You. This is a no-brainer for me. This is Gotta Be You. Is Gotta Be You like a silly song? Yes, but I sing it all the fucking time. And also like the Adventurous Adventures of One Direction, the iconic like Can You Hit the Gotta Be You note?
It's gotta be you.
Oh no, Harry, you almost had it.
That's a cultural moment. You know what I mean? Like that's a pop culture moment, and I can't not take that into account while going through this bracket. Also, like, who even listens to Same Mistakes anymore? Like, yes, it's like that song is fine, but like if you're putting it up against Gotta Be You, like Gotta Be You's coming out on top. I'm sorry. Where Do Broken Hearts Go or I Wish? It's gotta be Where Do Broken Hearts Go. That's in my rotation right now, actually. I was literally just listening to that before I think if I pulled up Spotify right now, my phone is charging, Where Do Broken Hearts Go would be the last played song. Not even joking. Look me in the eyes. I'm not joking. Through the Dark or Infinity, these are two songs that I don't find myself particularly listening to all the time. Like I don't even like, this might be like, judge me if you will. I know this would get me like absolutely crucified on old like One Direction Tumblr if I ever said this like about any song, but like I don't even remember what these sound like. Like I have to listen to it. They're just not songs that I find myself like drawn to listening to all the time. Like I don't remember this on Midnight Memories. Like I skipped this. Oh, this is when they were in their Mumford and Sons era. Oh, I know this one. Wait. Now let's check out Infinity. I need a refresher. Wait. I think I have to go through the Dark. I can't explain it. Actually, this is just like an instinctual thing that I feel. Ready to Run or Steal My Girl? I think Ready to Run. Remember when there was the controversy with Steal My Girl because people were like, well, you can't steal a girl because she's not an object. And they were right. Is that a friend who's too woke moment? Sure, but I think we could all be a little woker right now. Perfect or Loved You First? Guys. All this time is good. That's what hurts the most. Girl, I got so close. Now you'll never know. Oh, baby, I loved you first. First time. First kiss. I need to stop. It has to be that one. Like, Perfect is good. Wait. No. This is hard. I think I have to go Loved You First. I think I have to because I do listen to that one more. This is my experience of listening to Perfect. I go, I want to skip this song. But maybe I'll just listen to it this time. And then I'm like, wait, I forgot how much I like the song. Like, that's my experience listening to Perfect. My experience listening to Love You First, it comes on, I'm like, we're listening to it. And I'm going like this in the car. First time. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm doing. And so because of that, I will have to go with Loved You First. Moving on. Don't Forget Where You Belong or Happily. This is easy to me. It's going to be Happily because that is regularly on my rotation. It's not on there right now, but that is one that I frequently do listen to still. And that was one that I enjoyed when that album came out. I was actively listening to that often as well. And then Fire Fireproof or End of the Day, this is another no-brainer for me for a similar reason to Happily. Fireproof I do listen to often. Simple. Okay, Nobody Compares or Gotta Be You. Nobody Compares is objectively the better song, and I do listen to that more. Where Do Broken Hearts Go or Through the Dark? Another easy one for me. Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Just a banger. Even though it's under boot, I do think it's a banger. Ready to Run or Loved You First? Loved You First. Again, Loved You First is one that actually I love. Happily or Fireproof. This is hard, but I do listen to Happily more, so we will go with Happily. Nobody Compares or Where Do Broken Hearts Go? This is hard because a long time ago I would have said Nobody Compares, but I think just where I'm at with life right now, I have to go with Where Do Broken Hearts Go. That also might be recency bias though, since I was literally just listening to it. No, I'm gonna stick with that. And then Loved You First or Happily. Loved You First is on the rotation, so Loved You First is gonna be there. This is hard. Where Do Broken Hearts Go or Loved You First? Hold on, let me sit with that for a second. Let me clear my mind, and then whatever song comes to me first is what I'm gonna go with. Strong. It was Strong, and that's not even an option. Hold on. We'll get to that one. I'm stuck. I just keep hearing Strong, and like I wasn't even listening to that. These are very similar songs, actually. I think I'm gonna go with Where Do Broken Hearts Go. Again, that might be recency bias, but I think lyrically it's the better song. And I think those songs are comparable, so I actually do feel pretty good about those being like the last two in the boops. But guys, we're moving on. That's the boops. We're moving on to bangers. This is gonna be hard because like my favorite songs are on this side of the bracket, so you have to bear with me. This is gonna be tough. One Way or Another or Come On Come On. I have to go with Come On Come On. My friend and I used to have like a joke that Come On Come On, like if you just like read the lyrics, or like it's actually like a pretty creepy, like they're pretty creepy, and so like that's funny to me and my friend. Little Black Dress or Live While We're Young. Can I be honest with you? I think these songs both suck. Do I remember exactly where I was in the moment where Live While We're Young dropped? Yes. And could I actually find a picture of me the moment I was listening to that? Like, yes, I could. Is the song good? No. I think it's one of their weakest singles, personally. I'll say it now. I can look back and admit that. And Little Black Dress, I just think it's a boring song. Do I listen to it? Yeah. But I think I have to go with Live While We're Young because I remember like sitting there and listening to it and like, girl, you and I are about to make some memories tonight. Like that was crazy when that moment where that dropped, we were like, oh, they're getting older. You know what I mean? Like we're getting older together. So I have to go with Live While We're Young. Stockholm Syndrome or Another World. This is a no-brainer to me. We're going with Stockholm Syndrome. Regularly on the rotation. I saw Harry cover it live because I saw him on tour, his first tour for Harry Styles 1, the self-titled. I was there, Hershey Stadium. So, and I genuinely do listen to it all the time. Like it's always on my Spotify on repeat. Kiss You or Still the One. Still the One is another one that I still frequently listen to. I just love that song so much. I can't explain it. I just think it's like it scratches an itch. What Makes You Beautiful or Clouds? I think you have to go with What Makes You Beautiful just because it's iconic. Everything About You or Up All Night. Up All Night is such a funny song to me. I do love it. And I think it's actually like a really great like title song for the album. And I think it was such a moment. And I think it's a good pop song. Like I think it's an objectively good pop song. Stand Up or Midnight Memories. Again, these are two songs that I do think are objectively bad in the discography. Does that mean that I don't love them? No, like I love these songs. I do think they're both really bad. Stand Up is what I put last time, and I know why I put that because I think that's another funny pop song. But I think I do listen to Midnight Memories more. That's hard. If I had to pick one to listen to right now, no, that's a lot. I would pick Stand Up. So it has to be Stand Up. And then No Control or Rock Me. This is another one that I think is no question. No Control is objectively the better song. Thank you, Louis Tomlinson, for No Control. That is genuinely a good song. Come On or Live While We're Young. Come On, I think is the better song. I like that one more anyway. Stockholm Syndrome or Still the One. These are tough competitors here, but Stockholm Syndrome will always come out on top. I think it is one of my favorite songs. It might be in my top 1, 2, or 3. What Makes You Beautiful or Up All Night. I think these are both off the same album. They're both like in the baby phase. I think What Makes You Beautiful is objectively the better song. I think it is also what a stellar first single to come out to. Like I remember watching that music video and just like genuinely falling in love with Harry Styles. Like I felt my pupils dilate and I felt my heart racing and I thought, oh no, this is gonna follow me for the rest of my life. And it's true. Stand Up or No Control. No question here. It is No Control. Come On or Stockholm Syndrome. You know the answer, baby. It's Stockholm Syndrome. What Makes You Beautiful or No Control. This is tough. Nostalgia tells me I should put What Makes You Beautiful. My heart is telling me No Control because I do think that is the better song and I do listen to that more now. And because of that, you might hate me for this, I have to put No Control. And now this is tough because I do think these are two genuinely really good bangers. Like these are bangers. These are bangers. And so this is really hard. Because I've been re-falling in love with No Control. I loved No Control when it first came out. I think Louis is genuinely one of the best writers in the band. But Stockholm Syndrome is just so good. Like it comes on and I genuinely like something like a switch goes in my brain and I don't know who I become when Stockholm Syndrome is on. But like my heart is telling me to put No Control, but I know Stockholm Syndrome, oh my God, I think I'm gonna have to put No Control. Cause you know what? I've been skipping Stockholm Syndrome a little bit recently, cause you know when you just like play a song too much and you know you love it though? I think I'm putting No Control and I feel good about that. Okay, that was actually really hard for me. Now we're moving on to the bops. We have She's Not Afraid or I Want. I used to love I Want, but I do think She's Not Afraid is better. And I do listen to that one more now. Best Song Ever or Wolves. I've recently been like listening to 4 and Made in the AM more because I realized, like I said earlier, that like that was when my music taste started to evolve. I was like getting older. I was like later in high school, and so I had a lot going on. And so I was like, oh, I'm getting too old for One Direction maybe. But like I've been listening to it more recently and I'm like, these were like good albums. These were good pop albums. And I feel like I like missed out a little bit in a way. So like Wolves is, I think, a good song, but I mean, Best Song Ever, that is the moment. Best Song Ever is the moment. And so I will have to go with Best Song Ever. And like, honestly, again, another objectively really good pop song. Like that is a good pop song. No one is doing it like One Direction was doing it. Like they were at the top of their game when Best Song Ever came out. They had the movie coming out. Like they were like singles, like Billboard 100 singles after Billboard 100. You know what I mean? Like just like tours, bus, another club, another club.
No sleep. Bus. Club. Another club. Another club. Plane.
Girl Almighty or Save You Tonight. Girl Almighty. There is still a part of me that wants a Girl Almighty tattoo. Not because the song is anything significant, but like the title of Girl Almighty is significant. And it's One Direction. I do think I need a One Direction tattoo. That's not funny. Back for You or Why Don't We Go There. I have been, again, re-falling in love with. I want to give it credit. Give credit where credit is due. That is a good song. But Back for You, I do just find myself listening to more and I can't explain why. This one's tough. The next one, Heart Attack or Temporary Fix. Because if you would have asked me 5 years ago, as is evident on here, I would have said Heart Attack because that was in my rotation at the time of me writing this bracket out that I have here in front of me. But now Temporary Fix, which is what I'm gonna go with, is just really doing something for me right now, and it's really speaking to me and my situation. That's not funny. I'm still gonna go with that song though. Anyway, Hey Angel or Magic. I'm gonna be honest, Hey Angel, a little boring. And I did just make a TikTok to Magic because I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this fucking song. It's a good one. It's a good one. So we're gonna go with Magic. Strong or I Would. Oh wait, that's hard. I wanna give Strong a shout out because just a couple seconds ago when I was trying to meditate, what song came forward was Strong, even though that song had not been brought up and I didn't even listen to that song. So I want to give credit that I do love Strong. I Would, one of their best songs, I'm not gonna lie, might be again in my top 1, 2, or 3. And then Tell Me a Liar, One Thing. A great second single. It wasn't their first, no, it was their second single. I mean, an iconic music video too. Man, what I would do to be like fucking 10 years old again, discovering One Direction for the first time. Now I'm about to turn 26 and I'm reading health insurance packets because I'm losing my family health insurance. That sucks, man. Anyway, She's Not Afraid or Best Song Ever. Best Song Ever, I do think again is objectively like the better pop song. So we're gonna go with that. Also the music video is iconic. Did I mention that? Girl Almighty or Back for You? Back for You, I do think I like more. Back for You, I like more. Temporary Fix or Magic, this is tough. I think right now, like I said, I was reminded of how much I love Magic out of the song, but Temporary Fix has been, like I said, just really doing it for me lately. So I will be putting Temporary Fix. I'll be a temporary fix. I Would or One Thing. I have to put I Would because if I had to choose to listen to a song right now and it was between One Thing or I Would, gun to my head, I would pick I Would. Probably 100% of the time, honestly. Not that I don't love One Thing. I listen to that when it comes on. But if you're like, you have to choose or your best friend is going to die, I would pick I Would. Best Song Ever or Back for You? I'm gonna go with Best Song Ever. Back for You made it this far only because of who it was up against. Temporary Fix or I Would? This is tough. I Would will have to come out on top there just because I think again, like gun to my head, I would have to pick I Would. Cause like genuinely like I'm like lately I found myself thinking. And you know what? Between Best Song Ever, I Would. Do you know what I'm gonna say right now? Do you wanna think? You wanna know? Gun to my head. It's I Would. It's I Would. Y'all, and that was the bops. So who do we have? We have Last First Kiss versus Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Then we have No Control. Surprise coming through there versus I Would on the other side. This is our top 4. This is my top 4 right now out of these 4 subgenres of the One Direction catalog. For the record, the top 4 last time, which maybe I'll show you what the bracket looked like last time. Night Changes versus Happily versus Stockholm Syndrome and Heart Attack. So these are 4 completely different songs. I have changed so much as a person in the last 5 years, my top 4 is completely different. And I think that's amazing. Like the fact that I'm still listening to One Direction 15 years after they were first formed on the X Factor, and I'm still having these conversations about it is so fucking crazy and stupid. Anyway, let's get down to business. Last First Kiss or Where Do Broken Hearts Go? I'm gonna really sit with this here because my heart is really telling me Where Do Broken Hearts Go, because I do think that is the better song. And if I had to choose to listen to one of those right now, my heart is telling me I would choose Where Do Broken Hearts Go. And I don't think I have any other explanation than that. And I think that's okay. Now this one's really tough. No Control or I Would, because these are both songs that, like, if I'm thinking like I want to listen to a One Direction song right now, I'm not automatically going to No Control or I Would and being like, this is the song I want to listen to. However, when they come on, I don't skip them. And it's never a thought in my mind to skip them when they come on. And I think that's significant. Like for me, I'm like, if I'm going to listen to a One Direction song, I'm probably going out of my way to listen to Stockholm Syndrome, honestly. But there are so many more important things going on in the world right now. And this is what I'm sat here doing for you, for your entertainment. No one asked for this. I think I'm going to have to go with No Control, which is crazy because I did say gun to my head, I would pick I Would over everything. But if it was like, I have to go out of my way to listen to a One Direction song, in all honesty, I've done that more often with No Control than I have with I Would. I Would is one of those like sneak attacks where it like comes up on you and you're like, I forgot how good this song was, because it's like further down on the album. Was it a bonus track? Maybe it was. I can't remember, but it's not like, you know what I mean? So I think because of that, I have to go with No Control. And I do want to give Louis credit because I do think it's genuinely like objectively one of their best songs, and it's a banger. So the final two that we come down to are No Control or Where Do Broken Hearts Go. I think I listened to these songs in equal amount. What is this, a boop versus a banger? No, it's a boop versus a banger, which is not where I thought we would go. You know what, that's a lie, because last time it was a boop versus a banger as well. It ended up being Happily and Stockholm Syndrome were my top 2 last time, and that, I think that was valid. That is valid. That was definitely correct in that moment for me personally. Where Do Broken Hearts Go or Nor Control? Gun to my head. Can I even say that on YouTube? Can I say gun to my head? Can I say that? Can I say gun to my head, or y'all gonna cancel me? Because right now my heart is saying, if I had to put on a song right now, God is silencing me by giving me a cough. If I had to put on one of these songs right now, I would go for Where Do Broken Hearts Go, which is crazy because if you would have asked me that just like off the bat, if I would have been walking down the street and one of those like TikTok people came up to me and was like, what are you listening to right now? It would not be Where Do Broken Hearts Go. Do you know what I mean? But like if I had to pick a song to listen to right now in this moment in my life, oh my God, I think it'd be Where Do Broken Hearts Go. And that might be recency bias. But then there's also like the bridge. Is that what it's called? The bridge to No Control, where it's like, her perfume's holding me ransom, sweet and sour, I devour, lying here, I count the hour. Like that, her perfume's holding me ransom, poetry, lyricism, iconography. I didn't use that word right. But I think just because of that, and because of Zayn's little part, I think I have to go with No Control. This is a tough top 2. I'm writing down No Control. I want to give Where Do Broken Hearts Go its credit. It made it far, but I think No Control is objectively maybe the better pop song. And if I had to pick a song, if it was between these two, and it was like, which song do you think encapsulates One Direction more out of those two songs? No Control. Because it was a Louis-led song. I'm sorry. Louis was like really the voice of One Direction. And if you argue with that, you're dumb. But he was, if you listen to any of the harmonies on any of the choruses, Louis' voice is going to come out on top. Listen to What Makes You Beautiful. Louis made that chorus. I'm sorry. Louis was the heart of One Direction. He was, and without him, it wouldn't have sounded the same. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, this is 45 minutes of me discussing a One Direction. The raw footage of this is 45 minutes of me discussing One Direction songs in detail at my big old age of 25, soon to be 26. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite One Direction song is. If I can get a blank version of this, I might just have to make it myself on Canva or whatever, which is fine. I can do that, whatever. Fill it out and, send it to me, mention me on TikTok or whatever. I want to know. Like maybe like I'm just crazy and like maybe what I have written down here is just like so wrong. I haven't been connected to the fandom in like years, so maybe I'm just like not in tune with like what they're feeling. But like me personally, like this was my journey. This is my journey and this is my truth right now, and like I don't have to apologize for that. All that to say, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, shout out to you. This was a little manic, and I'm feeling a little manic right now, and I think that's okay. I got a lot going on. Okay, I got a lot going on right now. So bear with me. If you want to see me do a tier list for the Dimension 20 seasons, all of them, let me know. I'll do that. It was on my list to do anyway, so we can keep doing that. And if there are any games you want me to play, let me know. I was considering maybe playing Date Everything. If that's something you want to see, let me know. I think it's right up the channel's alley. So I'll do it. I just need like the push to like actually sit down and like purchase it. I played the demo by myself to see if like it was something I was interested in, and Of course I'm interested in it because I'm a horny little freak. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.